tobacco, not stuff that's been embedded with cyanide and shit to kill you.
Yes, yes. So, the tobacco that we smoke in this country, due to the FDA and or sorry, ATF and other different groups that are out there, they have regulated the way that the tobacco has to be treated after it's harvested. If you get that kind of tobacco, it's been treated with all kinds of chemicals, and so you're putting in tons of chemicals into your body. The point of talking about the subject matter, though, is talking about nicotine in general, right? Let's get this straight. Our society loves nicotine. And I'm not just talking about people who smoke. Our society loves nicotine. We use nicotine for everything. We spray nicotine on everything. We put nicotine in everything. We utilize nicotine on a regular basis. In fact, we've genetically altered our corn to produce nicotinoids because that way it helps keep bugs away. Like, that sounds healthy, right? Have our corn have nicotine in it. It's very bizarre. They added fish genes to our freaking corn, for gosh sakes. It's like, great, okay,
So
I
what's
want to
nicotine do
have
for you?
my fish grow on the corn.
What is
Nicotine is very
you
interesting.
don't want corn with fins.
So, neopeptides that are found in things like COVID, nicotine will actually disrupt the ability for those peptides to actually bond inside our system. So this has been in the news in the last 3 years. We've had all this stuff with COVID and everything else. And one of the things that they have now found that disrupts COVID is nicotine. It's the reason why there was a disproportionate amount of smokers that didn't end up in the hospital or die. Virtually none. Why is that? You would think that they would have been at the top end of the risk factor.
Right.
So they started studying it, and what they found is that the spike protein that is in the COVID-19 and the nicotinoids with the and the various different infrastructure, the way they would react inside the body, is that these spike proteins would go boop and then they would bond, right? So they would do their attack, and then you would have nicotine in your system, and nicotine would come along and go, oh yeah, boop, and it would just knock it off, and then this COVID would then be flushed out in your urine and in your feces.
Right. So people would
It's
think
amazing.
people would think because you're a smoker that's your lungs and COVID attacks the lungs that the smokers would die. But they don't because they have nicotine and COVID doesn't like nicotine.
And it's not just COVID.